the betting, the not so much anymore, is more down to my own fault. I need to get studying again to get the edge back. But yeah, it's a great product. I love the exchange. It's really, in my opinion, one of the better bookmakers, if not the best bookmaker out there.
We're straight into race number 2, which is the start of the Bipod, set to be run over the 1950-meter trip. Race number 2 is a maiden plate. Warriors Rest 2020, when he came through to win the Golden Horse Sprint, and I think that was the day that Sean Terry absolutely cleaned up with those Group 1s, Graham, and those are certainly one of the special days for Sean.
He loves to dominate on this race at this race meeting, and he's got some real competitive runners later on, but we'll get to those. Obviously, this is a maiden plate of a 1950, as you said, is the opening leg of the Bipod. The early scratching here, we record as always the day before, so we're recording on the Friday morning. Number 3, Puerto Plata, is the scratching. They're betting 7-2 the field. Number 4, Cash Cavell at 7-2. Number 9, Man's Night from the Paul Matchett stable is at 7-2. Number 2, Duke of Africa, 11-2. Number 1, Pixie in Love, another perennial place getter for the Paul Gadsby stable. One of these days, Paul is going to get out of the number 2 box and into the winner's enclosure. And then also priced up in the market at 6-1 is number 12, Red Piano. So, Rahil, I'm quite strongly in the camp. I know it's an open race and they're betting 7-2 the field, but I'm quite strongly in the camp of number 4, Cash Cavell. I think the fact that its best form is at Hollywoodbets Scottsville is in its favour. Market rival Man's Night is obviously coming to Hollywoodbets Scottsville for the first time, but clearly has to be respected, along with numbers 1, Pixie in Love, and 2, Duke of Africa. Do you see any potential massive upset in the opening leg of the Bipod?
I don't particularly think that anything at a huge price could possibly win. My question with number 4, Cash Cavell, is does he stay? Will he see out the 1950? Because he's shown pace in his last 3 starts, and he's obviously just tired late on in the day. I'm not convinced that he will stay, but obviously I think the connections, they try and they're taking their chances of a 1950. It's not the strongest of maiden plates. It's certainly not going to take a lot of winning. This was Duke of Africa. Now, I know he's a well-tried maiden. He's had 12 starts, but I actually think that Hollywoodbets Scottsville could suit him, and I'm surprised that it's taken Frank Robinson 12 rounds to actually try him at the course. His best runs have certainly come on the poly track. When he's been on the turf, he's only run 1/4 from 4 starts, but I think the slightly longer run-in could just suit him. And we know Hollywoodbets Greyville is a lot tighter, and he's a big horse, and I think Muzieni could actually suit this horse at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. So he's a horse that I'm willing to give another chance to. You've obviously got the likes of Red Piano, who can get it right one of these days, and then Man's Night for the informed Paul Matchett yard. And that stable is absolutely firing at the moment. But let's see how he goes. He's run behind Mambo Camtesio in that Work Riders race. That's obviously with Mambo Camtesio coming through to win just yesterday. It's obviously franked the form there, but I think it's a race where quite a few horses are in with chances. And when it comes to the Bipod, how many numbers would you suggest?
Yeah, before we get to that, I think it's worth remembering the point you make about number 9, Man's Night from the Paul Matchett stable. We saw again in the week the Highveld Raiders, when they come with their maidens, they just seem to be too strong for our local lads. They dominated the maiden races in the week again. This is slightly stronger. So I do think that Cash Cavell, the point you make about him not staying is valid. I'm hoping that they'll give him a patient ride this time and try and switch him off. Then hopefully he can get home. Pixie in Love and Duke of Africa both shown the best form on the poly track, but like you, I do suspect that Duke of Africa might put that indifferent record on the turf track behind him and run well here. So to answer your question now, in the first leg of the Bipod, I'm going to include all of numbers 2, 4, 9 and 12. I'm going quite wide, 2, 4, 9 and 12. And I'm going to throw in the scratching just in case the tote favourite is one of those that comes through. So I'm taking no chances in the first leg of the Bipod. A couple of bankers later on, so we can afford not to go out the first leg of the Bipod.
2, 4, 9 and 12 for Graham in the first leg of the Bipod. I'm just going to go numbers 2, 9 and 12, and hopefully between us we can certainly at least double up in leg number 1. That's race number 2.
It's Donovan Everett from Cape Racing, and I'd just like to say it's an absolute pleasure to be involved with Intrabet and Cape Breeders in this golf day today here at Pearl Valley. It's fantastic for the industry to see all the relevant stakeholders coming down and having a good time and networking, and it's exactly what the industry needs right now in terms of moving forward and recreating some positivity to take us forward into the next year.